to another edition of TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. It's your boy ET. Look, I want to send a shout out to everybody out there in TGIM land. Listen to me, episode 8, man. In 2 days, we went to over 200. That means not only are you watching it, but you're sending it out to all your peeps. So mad shout out, man. I just thank everybody. I thank everybody for tuning in. My apologies, but today, I gotta speak to the young lady. I don't know her name, but she emailed me and said, ET, I'm loving TGIM, but I really didn't understand what you meant by the greatest common denominator. So I know I got about 200 of y'all watching this today, but do me a huge favor. Just give me this episode to speak to this young lady. All right, so I did my homework. I did my research because I thought I explained it real good last week. So I went through everything, and I'm just gonna be real with you. When I looked it over and I did all my homework, the only explanation I could come up with for the greatest common denominator is it's your fault. Yep, you heard what I said. It's your fault. That's what it means. The greatest common denominator just means it's your fault. And when it's your fault, you have to take responsibility. Now I want to say this because I don't want anybody to feel, all right, anybody to feel like I'm minimizing their experience. Perhaps you've been physically abused, right? You've been mentally abused, right? You might even been verbally abused. I don't know. You've been lied on, cheated, I don't know, all right? But what I do know is this, that anytime we're a part of the problem, we're a part of the solution. And I said that last week. So I just want to get this straight. The greatest common denominator means it's our fault. But here's the beautiful thing. If it's our fault, then it means we could do something about it. So I got 3 things I want to share with you, young lady. 3 quick principles to get from your fault to your greatest success that you've ever experienced before. Check out the 3. Principle number 1, right? And you got to promise me, all right? You got to promise me, because if you can learn principle number 1, I guarantee you that you'll get to whatever level of success you're trying to get to. So principle number 1, this is a promise. You got to promise me. You will never, ever play the blame game again. That's right. You will take the word I blame you out of your vocabulary, all right? And I know it's difficult. Why? Because it's easy to blame. Because this is what happens. When you blame somebody else, you don't have to take responsibility. As long as it's somebody else's fault, then you don't have to do the work, all right? But I want to encourage you that even though you get a get out of jail free card when you blame somebody else, the reality is you are no closer to success. That's right. You are no closer to your dreams. When you blame somebody else, you automatically freeze yourself, all right? You trap yourself in that same reality. But when you can get beyond the point of blaming somebody else, making it somebody else's fault, and you can take responsibility, I'm telling you, that's the first key in being successful. So you got to do me a favor. Please stop blaming and take full responsibility. I want you to say something to yourself, right? I don't care if it's 6 people involved. I don't care if it's 5 people involved. At the end of the day, what I want you to say is, it's my fault. That's right. If you play any part of it, I want you to say it's my fault. Why? Because if you have the courage, if you got the guts to say it's my fault, then you also have the courage and the guts to do something about it and bring about change. So number 1, do me a favor. No blaming. All right? You heard it said before. When you point 1 finger at somebody, you point 3 back to yourself. And so no more blaming. Take full responsibility. Say it's my fault and get to success. All right, I'm gonna do this a little different, all right? I'm gonna give you principle number 3, then we're gonna go back to principle number 2. Y'all know how I do. I do that all the time. So principle number 3, and this is one of the reasons why we like to blame other people, because when we take full responsibility, guess what? It hurts. That's right, it hurts. When we take full responsibility, there's some pain involved, right? But we gotta get over it, which is principle number 2. Stop running, all right? I need you to stop running, say it's my fault, take responsibility so that you can move on. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know how many of you guys are like me, but oftentimes when it gets heated, when I was younger and it got heated, I like to run. As a matter of fact, you heard my story. That's why I left home at 16 years old. That's why I was a high school dropout and homeless at the age of 16, because whenever it got tough, whenever it got hard, whenever it got difficult, I took flight. And many of you today, you're on your 3rd marriage. You're on your 2nd divorce. Why? Because every time something gets hard, you run. That's right. You should be finished with school right now. You should be working on your master's or your PhD, but every time it gets hard, every time it gets tough, instead of manning up, or being a woman and attacking it and saying it's my fault and dealing with it, you run. So principle number 2 is this. If you want to reach a level of success that you have never experienced before, you got to stop running from the problem. You got to stop running from it and run to it, because your success is on the other side of the problem. That's right. You heard what I said. Your success is on the other side of the pain. This is my final principle. This is my final principle. And listen to me very carefully. The last one is it's painful. I know it's going to hurt a little bit, but take it quickly and move on. I'll never forget I was in college. Hey, this is to you, David Trofer. Sac passe, David. My boy, David Trofer, he came up to me after failing writing, basic writing for the second time. And he said, Eric, man, you just got to be real with yourself. You keep failing because you're not a good reader and you're not a good writer. And what we need to do is stop running from it and deal with it. You can't keep taking the class over and think something is going to change. Remember our key phrase, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. So David got me a book. We started reading the book every single day. We would read the book. David would read one page out loud, and then I would read the second page out loud. But watch this. It was painful because in addition to all my other schoolwork, I had some additional work that I had to do. But guess what, man? Not only did I read, David made me take full responsibility. I love you, Trofer. He made me take full responsibility. So not only did we read the book, when David would see me walking through the school, he'd say, E.T., give me the word you learned. I said, I learned the word obstinate. There was a character named Obstinate in the book. He said, that's not good enough. Spell it. He said, don't just spell it. I want to know how many syllables. I said, obstinate. It's 3. Spell it out. Obstinate. N-A-T-E. I got it. Obstinate. He said that's not enough, Eric. What does it mean? I said, I got it, Dave. It's characterized by inflexible persistence. I got it. He said, okay, put it in the word. I said, David is trying to help me to be a better reader and writer, but Eric is being obstinate. You heard what I said. It was painful. It hurt. But as soon as I stopped running from it and I dealt with it head on, not only did I pass the class, I passed the class with an A. So listen to me very carefully. In short, common denominator means you're at fault. But that's okay. It's all right to be at fault. Admit it. I'm at fault. Because as soon as you deal with it, you can overcome it. Hey, this is your boy E.T. with another TGIM. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next Monday.
Don't let the